What's up, guys? It's your girl Haley Pro, aka the SoundChick here. Featured for today's interview, we have the guys from Coldson again. Jason, Riley, and I talk about their upcoming debut EP. During our discussion, we take a deep dive into every track, the meaning, the inspiration, the motivation, all of it. Coldson is coming in with a big punch with this EP, and they want their fans excited. So if you enjoy bands such as Korn, Slipknot, or Disturbed, keep on listening and get excited for Coldson and this new wave of new metal that they're bringing with their sound.
I'm Jason, vocalist of Coldson,
and I'm Riley, instrumentalist of Coldson,
and you're watching the SoundChick.
So, you guys have been staying pretty busy since last time we talked. You guys are about to release, your debut EP, that's going to be out this Christmas. Just getting right into it here. What are you guys looking to accomplish, or what is your goal with releasing this EP?
For me, I think the main goal is to just kind of establish who we are and, what Coldson is. I think from the beginning, starting the writing process for Coldson as a whole with Letting Go, since then, every song I feel like our writing abilities have progressed and we've kind of settled in and found our sound by the end of this. So I think it's kind of a compilation of a bunch of different things and us finding our footing. And I think we're really proud of what we've ended up creating.
Most definitely.
Absolutely. I've listened to the tracks off this EP, and I can definitely say that you should most definitely be proud of this. I was very impressed. I loved how emotional it got. I liked how, personal it was. I think that I heard a lot of, those core new metal influences that, fans of the genre will notice, but I think that you guys, put your own Coldson twist on it and made it unique, and it stands out, and, I cannot wait for the rest of the world to hear it. So, for those who are about to listen to this EP, what are some of the themes that you guys cover in some of these tracks that, listeners should expect?
Most definitely, with Letting Go is more of a heartache / moving on from it, moving past a toxic relationship. With my life is more of a kind of a fuck you to people that want to control or try to tell you how to live your life, whether that be family, friends, parents, even spouses or former spouses, whatever the case may be, just kind of a, hey, this is my life, stop trying to change me type deal. And with Numbsick, that was more of a suicidal awareness, kind of fighting with myself, not, trying to take my own life because of my, thoughts and stuff that's weighing me down, and basically just saying, hey, fight to live another day. And Chasing Perfection is basically about a betrayal, someone that you love and you trusted that, did you wrong, and you tried to let it go and move forward, and they just continue to make the same decision over and over again, give them chance after chance. It's just basically your way, just fuck you. So, and then, the last one, Mona, that one's about my mother, aka my grandmother, my Nana. She passed away 2 years ago, stage 4 lung cancer. And that was my song, with basically showing that it's never hard to let go of a loved one, and that pain is just as fresh when it happened as it is now.
Right. Absolutely. After talking to you guys, a while back, I know that you have like a very personal and emotional base for your music. Was it easy to find these topics? Like, did you know right on when you guys were working on this EP that this is what you wanted to write?
Yeah, I think so. I think Jason and I both are very personal with our music. We write about our experiences and how they've affected us. So I think just going into Coldson, we already both have that inclination at, Coldson just being me and Jason. It's allowed us to kind of express ourselves in a more personal way than I think if we were working with, 3-4 other musicians.
Absolutely, for sure. It's to my understanding that Riley has mixed and mastered this EP. What has the overall process been for you guys to put this together pretty much yourselves.
Yeah, well, I'm not doing all the mixing and mastering on the EP. A lot of that is actually being done by my good friend Jackson Wood.
Oh, nice.
But the single versions of everything except Numbsick has been mixed and mastered by me, and I'm not a mixing or mastering engineer. So a lot of it's been a learning process, trying to figure things out, but it's been really rewarding to kind of see my skills build and figure out ways to make the production sound better, even though we have pretty limited resources. We're a very DIY project.
Right.
Yeah, and everything on this EP is pretty much being remastered. Every single that we put out, we're very proud of it, but we also, on this full EP release, we pretty much went back and touched up some things. So this EP is going to be as powerful and strong as we could put it out.
I am very impressed with it. I think that you guys did a really good job, and I think that a lot of people are going to agree. So I'm excited for this.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Right? Let's just get in real deep with some of these tracks. Chasing Perfection. To me, this track pretty much opens up the EP. It gives a listener a really good taste for what they can expect with the rest of the tracks. So talk to me about this track to you guys. What is the emotional power behind Chasing Perfection for Colson?
Basically, that song, we wanted to start the EP off with something just with a bang, just to kind of show something that no one's heard of from us, so far. Just kind of taking what we've done, in the past, along with some fresh stuff, kind of getting a little more aggressive and, heavier with it. That song, the whole mentality of it was like, all right, obviously the song's about being screwed over or betrayed by someone you love and you care about, that you were really close friends with, that you trusted. And, you would go out of your way for this person. You would do everything for this person. And the number one thing that you wouldn't expect them to do, they did. And this is basically your way of making peace with it. So when we sat down, we were just like, you know what? This track here, I think it's time to turn it up a notch. And I was like, fuck it. I'm going to lay it all out on the line for everyone to hear. And, if the shoe fits, they'll wear it, and that was basically me just laying it all on the line for everyone to hear. And hopefully the person, which I'm pretty sure they'll know who it is about, it's not really hard to beat around the bush, but so much, which we wasn't trying to, we weren't trying to hide at all. We just, decided to let this track be one of the heavier tracks, and come as far as EP number 2, you'll definitely hear a lot more of, Chase Perfection style. For sure.
Yeah. I think instrumentally, when I was writing the song, I was very heavily inspired by like early Slipknot, their self-titled record, and Iowa are two of my personal favorite records of all time. And so I really wanted to get that kind of aggression. And so my mentality going into writing the song is basically take everything that we had done with Cold Sin up to that point and then just crank it up to 11. And I feel like we accomplished that pretty well.
What I loved about listening to the songs is that Chasing Perfection was relatively the heaviest song, like you guys said. And then it closes the EP out with Mona, which is very acoustic. It's soft. To me, it's the most powerful emotion in this EP. And I love that you guys kind of set it up that way. I really do think that it's brilliant, But, one song in particular off this EP is Letting Go. To me, I listened to it a few times and I got two interpretations for myself. I could see it as kind of this metaphor for, mental demons, but I also took it as, a big fuck you to people who are, who betrayed you or hurt you in the past, who was most likely closer to you. In that sense, I know that Jason mentioned a little bit earlier about the meaning of it, but why don't you guys go a little bit deeper into the meaning of letting go and what you want the fans or listeners to take away from it?
Basically, just never be afraid to give yourself more that you deserve. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know something's toxic and it's eating you alive and you haven't made peace with it, and whether it be, another person that you're with or somebody in your life that's making you feel that way, they're out doing their thing while you're dwelling in it. It's very important to know that you got to let that stuff go, no pun intended there, obviously, but, you have to be able to make peace with things you cannot control. Otherwise, you're just going to drive yourself insane, and then you're just going to dwell in it. And eventually you're going to get so deep in a hole that you can't dig yourself out of. So the whole point with letting go is like, guys, you know what? It hurts, but at the end of the day, something better and new will come along. So let it go.
Absolutely. I love that. You know, I'm sensing like a lot of, and I feel like Cold Sin wants to express, you know, these emotions and feelings, and experiences, but I feel like Cold Sin also wants to show their listeners or their fans, you know, that they are not alone. And I feel like, honestly, when I listen to your guys' music, it feels like a warm hug with some heavy music, of course, but you know, it feels like, you guys want to show the people and the public, you know, like, hey, we get it. We're going to write it out ourselves, and we want you to, you know, get through whatever you're getting through. And I really do like that. You know, with Numbsick, that's the song that I personally connected with the most on the EP. And I could tell that, you know, it was very much a growing through something that is very dark, very traumatic. And in most cases, is probably not easy to come through your own. And I know that this story of Numbsick pretty much started when Jason was a teenager. So covering these topics and emotions in this EP, did you guys find that it was difficult in a way to relive these experiences?
Definitely, for sure. I will say Numbsick and Mona were probably the most hardest emotionally for me to record, just because, you know, reliving, you know, past traumas. But definitely Numbsick, because that whole story there in itself is dark. And, you know, a lot of people, as they get older, we're all taught to basically numb our feelings. We're all taught to, hey, you got to get over it. You know what, you know, somebody's got it worse than you do. You know, get over yourself. You know, stop feeling sorry for yourself. But I think a lot of things people don't realize is that PTSD lives with you. You know what I'm saying? Like you keep that stuff, you know, built up inside for years and years to come. And when you get older, it gets worse. So I found this opportunity with Numbsick to let this out and finally make peace with something that I wasn't proud of, you know, that was hurting me, you know. And I felt like if I can be honest and let it go and let people know that they're not alone, then they can be honest and let other people around them know that they're not alone. It's all a cycle at the end of the day.
Right. I know that, you know, instrumentally, not just vocally or lyrically, there can be a lot of emotion behind, you know, even the strumming of a guitar. There can be so much power going through the musician's mind. Did you guys also find that in that aspect of this EP that it was also cathartic in that sense as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I do the majority of the writing for instrumentals, so I'm not inclined, like Jason is, to express my emotions vocally for the most part. I do some backup singing and everything, but Jason is still the lead vocalist, for a reason in Cold Sin. But yeah, I try to express myself musically. I think you can hear a lot of the emotion that I'm expressing, especially in the like ambient guitar leads that I like to put in there. Specifically in Letting Go during the chorus, there's a very like soaked in reverb guitar lead. And that's one of my favorite parts of the album, because I feel like there can be so much expression just in the note selection on a guitar. Like you can listen to just an instrumental song and you can tell whether it's sad or happy or melancholic, nostalgic or whatever. And I try to just take whatever I'm feeling and put that into the music. And when I was writing Numbsick, I was in an extremely bad headspace, and I just wanted to write something sort of reminiscent of like older Korn, like Falling Away From Me. That's kind of the inspiration that I took there. I think people can probably hear a lot of Korn influence in the verse for that song.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the chorus, I just wanted it to be very big and emotional and powerful. But when I finished writing the instrumental for that one, I still wasn't sure like if it was gonna make the EP, because I was like, you know, I don't know if this is, you know, good enough to be a Cold Sin track. But then Jason was just like, no, hold up, man. Let me put something on this. And then when he started putting his vocals over it, like the song just kind of came together in this really beautiful way. And I think that's probably my favorite song on the EP, or it's probably either that one or Chasing Perfection would be my favorite song on the EP for sure.
Right. I think that it kind of worked out pretty perfectly for you guys, considering the fact that, you know, you wrote it in sort of this negative headspace, and the track is about getting through a negative headspace. I think that it matches well, and I love that it came to be that way. I think that it kind of fits it perfectly. You know, having Riley say his favorite tracks off this EP, what are yours, Jason?
For me, to be honest with you, My Life and Mona. And honestly, you know what? That's not even fair. I love every track on this album, to be quite honest with you. This whole EP, I love it. But if I had to choose one song, I'd probably have to say Mona, just because it's about, you know, my mother. So, it took a lot. It was really hard to record that song, you know what I mean? Like, just us sitting down here and recording it, we were coming up with a game plan. It's like, you know, are we going to add drums? What are we going to do with this? And I was like, you know what? Let's just grab an acoustic, me vocals raw, no effects, just put me on the mic and let me just lay it all out on the line, you know, cause I didn't get to cope with that. You know what I mean? Like the first 2 years of her passing, I had to pretty much hold my family up and help my family, you know, get through this tough time, you know, between my sisters, you know, everyone I love and I care about. I had to basically be that tough guy and tuck my emotions down and make sure that they were good. So when we recorded the song, it was literally everything that I was feeling that was built up was all on the line, and I just, I had to get it out. So that song will probably be my favorite just because of how personal that song is.
Absolutely. Talking about that song, what was that experience like for you to record that song, you know, because I know you just said that it was pretty much your first time, like, really dealing with it. So what was your emotional state like singing about this?
Honestly, I felt very empty. You know, I felt it was like reopening a wound, basically, obviously. You know, it was like basically accepting, like, okay, now it's time to vocally describe what you're feeling, because I had held it in for so long. And, you know, I'll be honest, I'm the type of person where I don't ask for any help, you know, and I tend to do it to myself and handle it myself. And I'm not saying that that's unhealthy. Some people choose to do that, but I've learned in the long run, it's always good to reach out to somebody, you know what I mean? Reach out to someone that loves and cares about you, a friend, family. You know, you don't have to be blood to be family, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, definitely seek out that help. But with this song here, I found myself, you know, choking up a couple times. I'll be honest. You know, there's times I had to ask Riley, you know, if he was, you know, cool with leaving the room so I can, you know, really do my thing. And, the scream part at the end, that would just, I feel like the scream told more of the emotion than anything else I could have said, because I couldn't really describe how I was feeling more than what's there, you know. So the scream in itself, I feel like pretty much shows the torment and the pain that I put myself through these past 2 years mentally, trying to make peace with, you know, her leaving.
I literally have goosebumps as you're talking about it. I really do agree that the scream is probably what shows or produces that, you know, raw emotion, that raw feeling of pain. 'Cause, you know, it's very, it's a stinging feeling. And, even though I haven't experienced what you've experienced, I felt it, which is also another thing that I love about Cold Sin's music is it's, you know, music speaks to people on very different levels. And yeah, I really do love that you guys add in these little bits and pieces, you know, whether it be instrumentally or vocally, and, you know, with effects. You know, you guys do a lot to help push along the meaning behind each and every thought, that goes behind, you know, your music. And that's what I think, you know, makes Cold Sin stand out, you know? But, I have one last question for you guys, and I know you guys already said it earlier, but as we're approaching 2021, what are some, you know, goals, or what else are you looking to accomplish come the new year?
Well, I think we want to get our second EP out next year sometime. We don't have any concrete release date in mind at the moment, but I think we're probably going to get it out next year. We've got most of the songs already, like, demoed out and everything. So I think we're just going to take most of the beginning of next year and just really refine everything and get it to the point where we're happy with it and we're ready to, start mixing and mastering and everything. I think people have a lot to look forward to from us in 2021. This next EP is going to be very heavy. We're not going to do what other bands do and go soft after I debut. We're getting heavier. So I think if people like the heavy side of Cold Sin, if they like chasing perfection in my life, I think they're absolutely going to love what we've got in store on EP number 2.
We definitely coming for some heads. This second EP is gonna be rough. I'm really honestly excited to share it with everybody because I don't think anybody's gonna see it coming. Because this right here, we're turning the level up, like it's going way up. Another goal for us in 2021. As you guys know, we're unsigned and unstoppable now. So
yeah,
we will be looking for a home, and hopefully by the end of the year, the early 2021, shows will be a full-on thing, and Cold Sin can finally come out and show the world what we got.
Hell yeah. I would love that. Please stop in Georgia.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
Definitely.
I love the home of the Peaches. I used to go there all the time as a kid, so I would love to come to Georgia.
Do it. I would love to see you guys live.
Hey guys, it's a SoundChick here again. I hope you enjoyed that interview with Jason and Riley and taking that deep dive into the various tracks off their upcoming debut EP. Please stay tuned for the release of this EP and keep in mind that it is to be available this Christmas, which is only a couple of days away. I've already listened to it myself and know in my heart that you guys will enjoy this. So make sure to check it out once it's available and keep on rocking out to Cold Sin and their music. I enjoyed having you on this broadcast and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. If you're interested in reading up more of my interviews or music reviews that I do, follow me on my social media on Twitter or Instagram at RealSoundChick. This is a great place to see all of my updates, so definitely check it out there. In the meantime, rock on, my dudes.